glad. So glad you could make it. Robin, you want to introduce yourself first?
Sure, my name is Robin. I'm from the Bookworm Hole, where I usually review mostly science fiction, and I am a science fiction author myself.
I am Johara, and I uh, am at the Witchy Reader. I mostly talk about fantasy, and I'm also a fantasy author, so that works.
Tried and
We're
true.
both one genre girls.
Yeah, pretty much. So what are you gonna be working on tonight, Johara?
I was thinking about it, and I think I've settled on Realm of Monsters.
Ooh, okay.
That one's exciting. It's going to be a trilogy, and I have several ideas for it, which I'm really excited for. I'm still relatively at the beginning of the first book, though. I'm on chapter 5, 6, 7, somewhere around those.
Nice.
It's been a couple days since I worked on this one. How about you?
So I've been working on a short story recently, so I'm gonna be working on that today. I've gotten quite a bit done on it, so hopefully I might finish today. Um, but yeah, I've actually been handwriting it, so I got my journal that I will be working on it today.
Interesting.
Sometimes when I have really bad writer's block, it just helps to write things down on paper instead of the computer. It just gives me a lot less distractions.
Mm.
Um, so I found that has worked out. I've got like 7 notebook pages full of stuff so far, so
Fun.
it's been going good.
That's good. Um, so this is the new story you've been kind of working on, right?
This is just a standalone short story. I had the idea last week for a new story, and I just been kind of feeling it out so far. I don't really have any plans. Usually, when I write short stories, I usually have some sort of publication in mind that I'm going to submit it to. I don't really have that for this one. It's more just like trying
It's
to get
fun.
of uh like a writing slump, and like I haven't written a short story in ages either, uh,
Mm.
which is usually most of the writing I do is short stories. It's more rare for me to work in longer forms. So
And when you do write work in longer forms, it's still just a standalone.
yeah, exactly. I'm a very like I have an idea that exists in like a finite space.
Yeah. For me, it's the opposite. I cannot do standalones just because whenever I do come up with an idea, I come up with a million sub ideas
Mhm.
for the same thing. So unless I want to do one like 2,000-page book, I think I have to do a series.
Yeah.
um, I think it was our last writing sprint. Either you or Tabby, one of you asked me if I ever plan on writing a novella for like an existing
Oh,
story,
mhm. Yeah.
and I actually have been thinking about doing that.
For which one?
Uh, well, the one I definitely think I want to do will be for the story I'm co-writing with Alyssa, because
Mm.
we both have our own like main characters that we created, right? Our we're still pretty at the beginning of the story, so our characters haven't even met yet. But both of our characters are immortal for different reasons, and I just feel like there's just so much you don't know about these characters because they are immortal. So I thought about doing a novel about before the story started, like a prequel, but also a bit shorter than an actual book, so you
Mhm.
can get a little bit insight into her past. So I also the Vicious Militants, which is the sequel series for Curse's Light. I've also been considering doing a prequel or novella for that as well.
Mhm.
So you can get a little bit more insight about how these three people that work together in this walled city, how they came together in the first place.
That's really cool.
Thanks. Would you ever do a little novella about for one of your standalones?
Hmm. I've considered doing like tie-in short stories for my main novel that I had written. Um but I haven't really like come up with an idea for them. It's just kind of been something I've like entertained
Nice.
that I might do. But yeah, not novella length yet. But
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, we have a few people in the chats. Hi, glad you could make it. What would you be working on today?
Hey, Arminus. Recognize
So
you.
yeah, so glad you could make it. What will you be working on?
Oh, you know what? I have a fanfic writer Discord that I joined, and I forgot to send them the link last time we did this, but I should send them the link this time. See if anyone wants to join the sprint.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. Glad you could make it.
Will you be reading today, Brenda?
Yeah, she just started a book today. One of my books called Final Girls.
Oh, I heard about that one. Did you read that one, Johara?
No, but I do plan on getting it done.
I know. I thought someone we knew read and reviewed that one because it sounds super familiar. Or maybe it was just that you were planning on reading it because it was like a non-fantasy book that you were gonna read.
It's like a horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think Storm read it.
Storm read it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Nice. And we were just talking about novelists too.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Is that a tie-in novella for your main series, Arminus? Or just a standalone?
Yeah, nice. I hope it's been going well. How far are you in it? Nice. Yeah, I just really like the concept of the Final Girls. Like, someone just killing people who survive these horror situations. That just sounds like this awesome concept. I hope the book lives up to it. Nice.
That's cool.
Are you still working on the Holy Grail? I wasn't sure if you finished it. I didn't think so. Because I think it was a series, right? Because he had like a couple of those. Yeah.
I know he has at least 2 in it.
Yeah. I don't know how long he plans on making them.
Daffy!
I'm glad you could make it.
Hey!
Yay!
Nice.
I hope it goes well. I hope we get something started.
How much have you gotten done, Tabby, since last time we sprinted? And I'm laughing because I haven't done much on my stuff.
I've written some, not that much, but I feel like I'm not really getting that much done in one story because I keep jumping around.
That's me. I got a lot done our last sprint, and then I started writing this short story instead, and I haven't come back to any of my other work since then.
Yeah. Have you worked on the book you're re-editing? Yeah. No.
I have it open and I just haven't done anything on it. Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to get there yet.
Right. My editor's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you for starting on your edits." And I was like, "Okay, wind back. I'm happy that you're proud, but I didn't get that much done."
Nice. Long series. I do love long series. 6. That's a pretty decent series size, I feel like. I feel like a lot of people do. Most people's books are within 3 to 5 or 6 books. I feel like that's the main. I feel like most of my series I have planned are 3 to 6 books. I do have that one that's 8 and then that one that's 14. Because I just have so many ideas for that one. That's just for one arc. Kind of like Harry Potter's books. Like, there's all these different arcs, and they're all 6 books each arc. Like, Seekers, they have 2 arcs, and then Warriors, that's the big one. That has 7 arcs, I think now, plus several
Oh
novellas,
my gosh.
plus mangas, plus super editions. That series is probably over 50 by this point.
That's bananas. I've been reading Animorphs again because that's what I do when I'm in a reading slump, and it's 54 books long, and I'm on book 8. I just finished. Like, it is such a long series. How did they keep writing this for 54 books? I'm reading on because I'm curious how they're gonna keep this going for 54 books.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I get a lot of ideas. I came up with a series that's 14 books, but I could never imagine doing one for 50 books.
Right.
With Warriors, so far, what it looks like, it's because I have started Warriors. I'm just really behind, but it seems like it's gonna be an every generation thing. Like the first arc had Firestar and his mate, and then the next book followed his children, and then I read the back of the next arc after that, and that follows one of his children's children. So it seems like it's gonna be an every generation thing, and that I can understand how you could make so many.
Oh
that
yeah.
makes it easier. But to be about these one set of characters, that I don't understand how you can make 50 books.
That's a big stretch. Yeah, but that
Yeah.
makes sense with the different characters. And I think Aaron Hunter, I think that's a group of writers, isn't it?
Yeah, 3.
So I assume they probably alternate.
True.
So which makes the ideas flow more. I think that it's not just coming from one person.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
And all 3 of them could have different ideas, which will triple an idea that one person could have.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly 0 words.
Me too, me too, Daffy.
Well, it's not just you.
Much longer. How many arcs are you gonna do?
Yeah. Do you know how many books in total you're gonna do?
Right, that too. Oh, I think he answered that in the later one. There's minor arcs. Interesting. I like that you have different storylines going because then it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Kudos to you. If you pull that off, that would be really impressive.
Definitely.
Because that's a massive commitment.
Yeah. Definitely. You want to do the first? You want to do the first sprint at 20?
Sure.
Okay.
And then how long do you want to go for?
Maybe 30 minutes?
Okay, sounds good to me.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping. I took a break from Realm of Monsters for a reason, and I don't want to try to procrastinate just because the scene I'm on is kind of hard. It is not that I'm stumped or anything. It's just I'm trying to create it's based in this whole other realm, just full of people with supernatural abilities. Basically, if you're not human, you belong in this realm, which is Cyclops, vampires, werewolves, all of those, everything that they live in this realm. So I didn't want these people to have like human food. I wanted to be a little bit more epic than that. So I'm trying to create my own food and drinks like Harry Potter does. But that's a lot harder than I thought it would be.
It is hard, and like I've done like sci-fi food before, especially because the novel I just wrote, I based it that like humans pretty much live among aliens, not the other way around. So it's mostly alien culture. So like I had to come up with like the alien version of coffee and like how they make this caffeinated drink and how it's different. It can be hard.
Yes, definitely. It's like, I mean, with fantasy there, and I think it's that way with sci-fi. I'm not as familiar with sci-fi, honestly. But there's like different types of sci-fi, right? Like I know you, yeah, because I know you talked about your book. I forgot what you called it.
This is a space opera. Yeah.
That's what you called it. I couldn't remember the wording, but yeah, like fantasy. There's high fantasy and low fantasy, and there's different types which I feel like not many genres actually do that. I think that's mostly fantasy and sci-fi, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, that's why like even though like I mostly read science fiction, I think there's so much like similarities between science fiction and fantasy, but it just like goes in
But
like these opposite
yeah,
directions, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
I feel like that's why people do like to confuse them as the same genre,
Yeah.
because like when you go to a bookstore, it'll say fantasy and sci-fi, and we were talking about this one day. We were like, yeah,
Yeah.
they have similarities, but they're still two separate genres that are very different.
Right, like someone who will read fantasy or science fiction knows the difference, and like bookstores should accommodate for that.
But
I remember talking to someone, and
yeah.
and I told him I liked to read science fiction, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like Harry Potter," and I was like, like I'm like, I like Harry Potter, but that's not what I'm talking about.
No. Sci-fi is no, that's fantasy.
But to that person, like obviously they didn't have a strong concept of the difference between sci-fi and fantasy. But I'm like, okay, like you got the spirit.
And it's like I have, so it depends on which type of fantasy I'm currently writing to depend if I need to do
Mhm.
something like this. Like the series I just finished publishing, Curses Light, that is in our world. I mean, I
Yes.
consider that low fantasy because it's in our world, but there's like since it's in a cursed town, it's in a section away from our world, kind of.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. So, um, so they still eat food like us, but Realm of Monsters, not so much.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, right, Tammy. I had to like stop myself from laughing because like he was such a well-meaning older man. I couldn't make fun of him.
Yeah.
But it made me chuckle because I was like, no.
Ready to sprint?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, so 50 two. We'll come back then.
All right, sounds good. Happy writing, everyone.
Happy writing. Hey, sorry, I was just finishing my thought.
I figured got involved in it.
Yeah.
So how did your sprint go?
Good. Yeah. I finished the chapter I was working on and barely started the next chapter. So I finally figured out the food situation, which is good
Nice.
for now at least. I'm sure I'll have to come up with more food in the future, but as right now the eating part is over. So yeah, it's going pretty well. How about you?
Awesome. I finished the scene I was on, and then I briefly started the next scene, and I think I have just one more scene after that, and the story will be done. So, yeah, I got
Awesome.
through a intense turning point of the story. So,
Love those.
yeah, it was hard to write, and I was kind of putting it off because it was going to be hard to write, but I think I did a decent job with it.
Yeah,
So,
I was kind of putting this off because of the whole trying to come up with food. I did not
yeah.
think it would be this hard, but it is.
What did you end up coming up with?
Uh, so I came up with a few things because like there's these three people eating, right? A witch, a warlock, and a werewolf. But the werewolf lived in the human realm her entire life, so
Mhm.
she's new to the monster world. So it was kind of showing you from her perspective, finding out about what monsters really eat. So that
That's
was
fun.
exciting. Um, Hold on, let me find it. So one character was eating flamed spell meat. Uh,
Mm,
yeah, and it catches literally on fire.
nice.
Thanks. Uh, it comes with a caramel and chocolate wand, so that's always
Mm, mhm.
and see. She was eating okay, the drink she was drinking is frosted malachite. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. It's something I looked up. It's a
Okay.
type of crystal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it like frosts as well.
Yeah.
Um, so that's fun. Let's see. And she is also eating a human spleen.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
It's
that
from
one.
centuries ago.
Okay, that one I'm a little disturbed by. The rest sound like fun things I would at least try once.
But yeah, so it was fun to come up with these hard but fun. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely be coming up with more fun, creative food things for the creatures here eventually in the series.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Nice.
Nice. Looks like I got a lot done. That's good.
Yeah, geez, yeah. Oh no.
What? That's always fun.
That's really good, Tabby.
Yeah, you got a lot done. I didn't get that much done because at the beginning I was still struggling with what to do for the food. But once I figured that out, I kind of just flowed. So,
Yeah. I don't know how many words I did because I'm writing on paper.
yeah.
So I don't
Want
have
to
a
count
word
out
counter.
those words?
Yeah. But I wrote like at least one whole page and then some.
Nice. And you're almost done.
I'm almost
Yay.
done too. And then I have to transcribe it, which is my least favorite thing in the world.
Transcribe?
When I type it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to do that, yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to that, but yeah. Oh, excuse me.
with you writing sci-fi, have you ever had to come up with something like this, like food or something for aliens?
Yeah, so like I said that in the sci-fi novel I had written, the space opera,
Mhm.
the humans are living in an alien society, so I tried to make it be everything's alien, you know. So I came up with a fruit. I don't think I named it, but it's entirely liquid inside, and the seeds are just kind of like around in there. And I have a lot of fun writing a lot of the scenes like that when there is food, kind of like how you did with your werewolf character. I write it through the lens of my character who's originally from Earth and isn't familiar with alien things, so he's always like, and I think in the same chapter too, he ends up getting some stew from a local cafe and discovers that the main protein on this planet is bugs. And so he's eating this stew and he's seeing like these big fat worms in it. That's the like meat of the stew, and he's like kind of grossed out by it. Um, so yeah, I have a lot of fun writing that kind of stuff through the
Yeah,
character who isn't as familiar with things, because you get
it's
more
kind
of
of
the
like
reaction.
yeah, and it's kind of like Harry. He didn't know he was a wizard all these years. He had to
Hmm.
go to this wizarding world, not understanding its customs.
Hmm.
So, and it can be kind of fun because even though you're in this magical world, you have this main character who isn't from the magical world. So you get to find out all the things that they are finding out, and so you
Hmm.
see it through them, and that's kind of fun.
I think it's easier to point out the eccentricities of the world by using the character who is closer to the reader. I think, you know,
Yeah,
that you experience it alongside them. It's like, oh, this is so weird and different.
exactly.
So So yeah, that was fun, but I also think it tripped me up for a little bit too, because I had to decide like, okay, like I want this to come across as alien, but how am I going to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like people in this realm aren't really, they don't really like humans. So
Hmm. They eat them.
I wasn't gonna put it like that, and they don't anymore. You're not allowed to anymore. There's
Mm.
obviously still gonna be those rogue monsters, criminals that are going to, but
Hmm.
for the main part, you're not allowed to. Um,
Hmm.
but they do. But you can, like, if the body is dead and they donate organs or something, you can like get those and use
Hmm.
those instead for your food. So it's kind of weird, kind of like you're a whole bug alien thing, but it's fun as well.
It's very different, and that's what makes it fun. Is that like
Definitely.
that's not something that happens in our world, as far as
Yeah.
I know. I don't know. There might be some cultures that are like, I want my liver eaten when I'm gone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's weird, but in a fun kind of weird way.
Right, yeah.
And it's just like a fantasy sci-fi story, so it's
It's not
supposed to
real.
be otherworldly.
Exactly,
Well,
yeah. It's not real too. So thank God. Like, and here is human liver. I'd be like, oh, no, thank you. Can I get McDonald's? I can go
yeah.
through the drive-through. Come to the human realm. I'll show you McDonald's. Come on.
Get them addicted to McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
And then and then it worked, and all the aliens and monsters are just piling up at McDonald's.
Right.
They're like, no more of that human crap. I want human food.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, how long
Mhm.
is your short story?
I don't know because I don't have a word count,
Right.
but I think I got 7 pages of a notebook written. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I'm on 10 pages so far.
Nice.
So I'm not gonna be able to guess how many words that is. I'm good at guessing how many words when I type, because like I can like I'm so used to seeing like okay like this chunk of paragraphs probably 500 words or something.
Yeah.
I'm not as used to doing that while writing in a notebook, and my handwriting's a different size, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure. But I have it it's kind of jumping around to like different spots in this character's life, so I think that kind of made it a little bit longer. Usually I only do like a couple scenes in a short story. But this one's probably a little bit on the longer side from my short stories, just because, like I said, it's jumping around through a character's life, so you can kind of see why she ended up in this situation and why she's going to make the decision she does at the end of the story. So,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that. I hope it's something. I'm like, I got a little weird on this one, but I haven't written like a weird story like that in a while, so it feels
Weird
good.
stories are fun.
Yeah, yeah, I like to kind of I feel like I have like three different general story ideas when it comes to short stories, and like one is like me really angry about something, so I'll like write a story about how I'm so angry about something. Stories like this where it's just like a really weird idea and kind of the writing is weird. And then there's just like the third that's generally like, oh, I have an idea for aliens and I want to explore this type of alien in a short story form. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, in this story there's a few laws like that. I mean, there's like this leader of the realm. I guess it's like their president. They don't call it that though, because they don't go
Hmm.
by human terms. But it's kind of like what that is, which is one of the main characters' mom.
Oh, cool.
Uh, but it's also different because it's not really much of an election choice either. It's more honestly, it's more like a whole king thing. You know, it goes
Yeah.
down by bloodline.
Hmm.
So she's next in line for being the leader, but it's not. But it's also not really queen because even though it is in a monster world, it's more modern day for the most part. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. So so they have laws and stuff, and um, one so like I said, one of the laws is that they can't actually go out to the human realm and just randomly murder humans or anything.
Hmm.
But it's not for
Yeah.
the safety of the humans. It's because if the human world found out about monsters being real, then it puts a danger to all of the creatures.
Mm.
That's why it's against the law. But you can't. You also, but murder in general is also against the law, especially if it's murder against another monster.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That's most societies have that as a law.
Yeah, definitely. Like, let's just go out murdering people. There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah. We may be monsters, but we have morals. Like,
right?
we might eat humans, but we have morals.
Monster High.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, we might be monsters, but we're not evil. We're just like
Yeah.
you. Um,
Exactly. My favorite movie.
yeah. But I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about
Laws.
monster laws, yeah, and yeah, the monster monarchy.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's like these general laws. The chapter I'm on is called Vampires versus Werewolves because um
Mm.
vampires and werewolves don't like each other. Like
Hmm.
most things, I feel like vampires and werewolves never like each other.
Yeah.
But the two main characters are is a vampire and a werewolf,
Hmm.
and they fall in love.
Aw, cute.
uh, and they're lesbians. So there's
Nice.
that. Yeah, a little sapphic in there because that makes everything more fun.
Exactly, yeah.
But so it's a different as a little different on that trope because I feel like that trope's been done before, but I don't think I've ever seen a lesbian version of it.
I definitely haven't seen that yet, so I'm here for it.
Awesome. So yeah, so but since the werewolf is the one who's new to the monster realm, she doesn't know that vampires and werewolves hate each other.
Oh.
And she kind of has this thing for Callista the moment they first meet, but Callista is also you have to. She has like a lot of secrets. Very few people actually know anything about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very old, like very older.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's a vampire, so she's centuries old, but she's like older than most vampires as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she's been burned in the past before, so when she first meets, um, Roxanne, she doesn't like her like at all. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that, but obviously she softens for her and they get close.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a really fun dynamic.
Yeah. I actually came up with this story so long ago, like when I was 18 or 19, before I even started writing my Jasmine Prez book. Because I actually
Wow.
I started writing the first Jasmine Prez book when I was 19, and then I was a month or two after I turned 20 is when I published it.
Mm.
But
Wow.
actually, no, I think I was even younger than that. I was a teenager. I think I might have still been in high school, actually.
Wow.
Maybe 17 or 18, so like almost out of high school or just out of high school, somewhere around.
Yeah.
But that was before I had a laptop, so I wrote it all on a journal, but I lost the journal. It's a long story,
Oh,
but I
that's
had
so sad.
yeah, so it took me years to want to finally write this again because I had gotten a good chunk of it done, and I was like, I do not want to work on all that again. So it took me
Yeah.
but there was also, now that I'm a published writer, there was a lot of things in there that I didn't like, so I've
Yeah.
changed a lot about it. It still has the same moral of the story that the original piece had, but I did do a lot of changes to make it better now,
Hmm.
so that's good.
That's at least one good thing that came
Yeah.
out of it. But still, that sucks that you don't have the original copy at least.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but it was back then when I first made it. It was just a little inspired by Monster High.
I definitely got that from the premise of it, but it's a good premise, you know.
Thanks. I've
So
always been obsessed with Monster High, so
yeah. Yeah, I gotta do my Monster High video. I wanna do it within the next few weeks, because I'm planning on moving within the next few months, and unfortunately I'm not bringing my whole collection right away. So I wanna do that before I go.
yeah,
Um so yeah.
yeah. Well, I'll be excited to see it. I would love to finally get to see all your dolls because all I ever
Yeah.
see is some of their legs, and I think you showed me a couple. Like you showed me Venus and stuff.
I got 3 Venuses, so I'll show
3
those.
Venuses.
Yeah, she's my main girl, you know, so
Your favorite character?
absolutely. So yeah, I want to show out every single doll I have and kind of talk about like my experience with Monster High, like how I got into it and how I started doll collecting. So I think it'll be a fun video. It's a very different video from my channel at least, but yeah. I'm like so behind in videos though. I haven't done my wrap up for last month yet.
I haven't done many videos this month either.
Right? So
I
it's not
did.
just me.
Yeah, I did my TBR and wrap up. I made sure to do those so that I won't
Mhm.
get too far behind that. But other than that, I haven't really done anything. I haven't even started this month's vlog. So this is gonna be a very short vlog because I'm gonna start it like
Oh,
in the next couple of days and just have it until the end
yeah.
of the month. But because at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the year, I was doing good because I made a goal for myself to do one reading and one writing vlog every month this year. And at the
Mhm.
beginning of the year, I was doing pretty well. I started it at the very beginning of the month and would go on till near the end. But nope, Not anymore. I kind of fell behind.
Yeah, me too. I like was doing really good on all of my booktube goals for this year, and then like this past month I fell off of like all of them.
So it's not just me.
No, I don't know what it is about April. It's just I was kind of like, oh, I need to take a break. So
I know what it is about April. They're like, you're doing so good on your booktube goals, April Fools.
pretty much, yeah, it's been April Fools all month for me. Like,
Wow.
but-
At least we know it's not just one of us.
right, yeah.
But yeah, I've done you know how I have another channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've done some Monster High videos on that channel since that one's about TV shows and movies and stuff. So I've done several Monster High related videos on that channel.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Love Monster High. Gotta have those Monster High videos.
Absolutely.
But I'm excited for yours to finally see all of your collection.
Yeah, I'm excited to show it off. It's been quite a few years in the works at this point, so.
Yeah. I eventually want to regain my doll collection. I have a few dolls that I was able to regain, but none Monster High, sadly.
Oh, what other dolls do you collect, or what other dolls do you have?
I have 2 Mel dolls from Descendants. Mom got them for me.
Oh,
One from the second movie and one from the third movie. And then my dad bought me 3 different Harry dolls a while ago.
Nice.
One was Yule Ball, one was from the Maze, and one was from Quidditch.
I had no idea they made any ones besides the ones of him in his uniform. That's the only one I've seen.
Oh,
Oh.
well, he found, I don't know where he found them. I could always ask, but he found all 3 of those, which are all very different.
That's amazing. I have my Hermione doll. I don't have her with me that I had since childhood, and so
wow.
she's from the first movie, and she was like my favorite doll growing up. So she's like one of the few non-Monster High dolls I've kept.
And I have a few action figures and like those little paw figures.
Yeah.
I have an action figure of Neville from the last movie with him in the final fight with holding the sword and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have Hedwig.
Nice.
I have another little Harry. I want to get some of the other characters, but they've been harder to find.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
Well, a lot of the ones I have, not the dolls that my dad got me, but the other ones I have, I found at Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I definitely seen them there before.
I feel like every Barnes and Noble has a Harry Potter section.
Pretty much, yeah. And I feel like you can find Funko Pops like most places now. I feel like most places carry them, but I know like some places have like exclusives, like certain characters that they only like one store will carry. So I don't collect them though, but that's what I've
I
gathered
never
from my
used
friends
to.
who do collect.
Yeah. I never used to, but I found a few, and now I want to get more.
Yeah, that's how it starts, you know. It's just like
Yeah.
I get just like a couple. That was me when I started collecting Monster High.
Yeah, I only have a few though right now. The very first one I got was Lee Shane from Mulan,
Oh, cute.
and I saw him and I just couldn't resist because I really like Lee Shane. And I feel like he's very underrated. I
Yeah,
also
he's
have,
great.
yeah, I also have Killer Frost from The Flash and
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine from Aladdin. I also have Anna and Kristoff, but they aren't Funko Pops. They're like a different. I forgot what they were called, but they're like something from a different company or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they look different than the Funko Pops too, because I feel like the Funko Pops have like big heads.
They got a very distinct look, the Funko Pops. Oh, they're cute though. But...
My brother has come in.
Hello. How you doing, bud?
Good.
Good?
Did you just take a shower?
He looks nice and cozy.
Are you nice and cozy?
I'm an egg.
He's an egg?
Apparently.
You're an egg?
An egg.
You're an egg!
Would you crack?
Oh my god.
Not
Oh.
funny.
Oh, yeah, she was being mean to you. That was mean, Johara.
Yeah, make sure you close my door, please. They never close my door.
Oh my god, he's so cute though.
He
He
shut
knows
it, but it like didn't shut all the way, so it swung back open.
Yeah.
Oh well. You want to do another spray at 20?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see if I can get the story done.
I
Getting
think you can.
so close.
You're so close. But yeah, I have that one huge poster I told you about of Monster High.
hmm
And it's like several of the ghouls. I could show it to you sometime. Maybe take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't been as active in the Discord chat lately, but it's kind of like there's not much to do until October.
Yeah. Unless we just want to say hi and check in and everything, which I do every so often.
Yeah. Did I send the graphics I made of all of the prompts?
I think
I
you
don't
showed
remember.
a couple, and you said I think you showed one and said you were gonna do it for the others, but I don't think you've sent the others yet.
Okay. I'll have to send those because that would be cool to drop in the general chat so people
Yeah,
can make plans for October.
I'm really excited for this.
I have some of my TBR figured out already.
I don't yet because I don't know what books I'm gonna read up until October, and I'm a mood reader, so it
Yeah.
also depends on what books I want to read at the time. I know we're talking about doing the buddy read for Monster High Ghoul Friends.
That's one of the things I'm gonna read.
So I have that figured out pretty much, and
Mhm.
I'm sure that can go with a couple of the prompts. So I'm gonna see which ones I think it'll go
It
best
goes
with.
with at least one of them for sure,
Yeah.
and that's the Ghoul Friends prompt.
Oh, duh. This is literally called Ghoul Friends.
Literally inspired by this book, that prompt. So yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out everything, but I want to do a video where I also recommend books that I have read that fulfill the prompts, to help give people an idea of what they could read if they're a little lost on prompts.
I want to give suggestions too. I want to do that kind of video.
Yeah.
I found out that next month is middle grade May, and I still want to participate.
Ooh.
There's like several books I wanted to read this month that are middle grade, but I'm pushing them back to next month because I found out the next month is middle grade May, so I want to join that.
I'm debating because I want to read more Animorphs, but that's the only middle grade series I'm reading right now. And I can't read the whole series back to back. It's just too much to do. It's too repetitive. So
Oh wow.
yeah, it's very formulaic, but that explains how she wrote 54 books.
Yeah.
So
Great.
it's 9:20. Do you want to sprint?
Yeah.
Okay, so 9:50. Yeah.
Okay, happy writing.
Happy writing.
Hello.
Hello.
I guess we were both trying to finish our last thought.
Yeah, I ended up getting like distracted. I had to help my mom with something for like 20 minutes, so I didn't get much writing done.
Oh.
But yeah, and I was like trying to get out the final thoughts as it was time to get back. So
Yeah. Yeah, so was
yeah.
I. I was almost done with the scene I was writing.
I didn't quite get the scene done. I kind of did a bit of jumping around because I kept having different ideas. Which is a little annoying when it comes to writing on paper because then you get like notes like this where I'm like, okay, this goes there, and then like this is like a different scene that goes on the first page, and then I continue that scene there. So, um,
Yeah, I kind of was jumping around as well, but it's easier than writing on paper. But yeah, last sprint I had started a new chapter like barely, but I kind of went above, like it was still in the same chapter, but above the scene I had started writing and wrote a few other things that I
yeah,
wanted to be first. Because I came up with this whole thing that happens, but the scene that I was writing had to come after it, so I had to get that done.
excuse me, nice.
Yeah, but I have it figured out. That's good. Do you have yours
Nice.
figured out?
I think so, and I came up with like another little bit to kind of tighten up my character's motivations at the very end. So, uh, yeah. Stranger Words is still
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good though.
good.
Yeah. Good job,
How's your
Tabby.
story coming along?
Yeah. You still in the same chapter?
How far are you in the book? I don't know if she's mentioned how far she's in it yet.
I can't remember what she said last time, so hopefully she'll answer us this time.
She said she wanted to get this book done by this year. So she has
Oh,
to
nice.
be so she has to be a good portion into it.
Yeah. I made tea, but it's way too hot to drink. Yeah, it's way too hot. If the mug is like too hot to hold, then there's no way that's gonna not burn myself.
Oh, you cut out. What'd you say?
Oh, it's like way too hot to hold, so there's no way I can drink that. Oh, nice. Yeah, you're really far along then.
Yeah.
So you'll probably be done by the end of this year if that's your goal. Way before then.
Yeah. Maybe in the summer.
Yeah, honestly. Nice. How'd your reading sprint go?
Yeah.
I'm
How long?
probably gonna scoot at 10:30 Eastern time. So about a half hour more if you wanted to join us, Mr. Francie.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Maybe one more sprint will be good.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I didn't get that much writing done this past one.
And you're so close.
I'm so close. Yeah. That's okay. You're
It's
still
okay.
getting it done.
Yeah. And we all have those moments. Life gets in the way, we get busy, or we're just in a slump. Either way, we slow down at times.
Right. I feel like the end of the year is kind of when I finally get everything together and work out my book more. So hopefully you'll probably won't put it off that long, seeing how far you have gotten.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got this.
Yay! What will you
Yeah.
be working on?
Yeah, we love to know. Yay!
Nice. Yeah. Got plenty of time.
Yeah.
You got this.
When do you think you'll publish it? Like near the end of the year or something? Because they're still editing and stuff. no fun.
Yeah. I can't remember if Tabby has an editor too, or if she just does it herself. Because that always takes longer. It took my editor like 2 to 3 months to get back to me after I handed over my manuscript. So, ooh,
Fun.
nice. I imagine I can't really think of any other like men loving men cozy mysteries. I'm not as familiar with the genre, but I feel like that's like a underserved niche
Yeah,
probably
definitely.
is. I
Though
don't
now that I've met a bunch of people that are into cozy mysteries, I've been hearing about it more often.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of didn't know too much about it, even though my mom really likes them, and so like I'll recognize a lot of the authors, but I never really read them myself.
Yeah, I've never even um heard of cozy mysteries of the genre at all until I met Tiffany.
I've never heard of that term, but once I heard it and heard of like the authors, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, given what I know about what my mom reads, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
like the funny pun titles. My mom loves to read the ones about, she likes the Quilton ones. And then like there's like some like candy series. It's like a candy maker. She really likes that one too. So it just like it made sense to me that I'm like, okay, it's not like a dark murder mystery, but there is like a murder mystery in it, but it's like on the lighter fun side. So
Yeah.
it made so much sense once I heard
Yeah.
the term. I was like, that's what that is.
Yeah. But Mr. Fancy, if you ever want to join one of our future sprints, we do them every Monday.
Yeah,
I
and if
think
you want to be like
that's
part
all.
of it, hosting it,
Yeah.
we'd love to have some
Yeah. You can
fresh
join.
blood.
Yeah. We usually go back and forth between mine, Robin's, and Tabby's channel, but we'd love to have you join if you want to one of these days.
Trying to get more people to join us.
Yeah.
So please let us know if you like to host.
Yeah, Mr. Francie and I are working on a live show we plan on doing soon-ish.
Ooh.
That will be a Harry Potter chat, and we'll just talk about Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh, you gotta let me know when that is because I would love to see that.
I will definitely let you know. We've agreed that it'll be after I'm buddy reading Harry Potter with a couple people. So once that buddy read is
Hmm.
over, we'll do it sometime after that. So I'll definitely let you know.
And then they'll be fresh in your mind too with the
Yes,
rereading.
definitely.
That's awesome. Coincidence, I published the last 2 books around Christmas.
Nice.
You gotta hold it off for Christmas now.
Yeah.
You started this trend. Keep it
Yes.
going.
It's a tradition.
All right, so you're single-handedly changing this. That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, I didn't really know that you write, but I have a writers Discord if you're interested in joining. Uh
Yeah.
yeah, I could send the link if you are interested in joining at all.
Tiffany is like a cult leader, I'm pretty sure, but like for cozy mystery. She's trying to get everyone to read it and like she almost got me convinced too because she's like I found a what was the one that she gave me? It was like one that took place in like a UFO Airbnb, I think it was. And so since I'm into sci-fi, she's like, you should read this. And I'm like, I want to, but like I just have so much to read. I
Same.
have so much.
Yeah, yeah, I've considered trying some too because there's some like paranormal cozy mysteries apparently. I
Mm.
know there's some that are based around witches, there's some that are based around like skeletons, and I hardly ever see books about skeletons, so that has my
Yeah.
eye open because I have this skeleton series in mind, and I just been trying to read. I got like I've always liked skeletons, sure, because I like most supernatural creatures, but this past couple of years I became obsessed with skeletons like I am with witches. And so I've been looking for books about skeletons, but there's hardly any. It's a crime.
Yeah, I can't think of any, but I'm not a big fantasy reader. But that sounds perfect for you, though, the skeleton cozy mysteries. Yeah, we usually start at 8 p.m. Eastern, but if you want to host on your channel, we could start later, or even just like you could just join at 9 p.m. on one of ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll give you the link next time.
Yeah, if you want to join.
I think
Um,
Tabby's supposed to host next time.
no, next time she's out of town.
Oh, okay. So I'll be hosting next
Yes,
time.
and
So
then
I'll
she
get the
says she
link
should
to
be
you.
good after that, so she can host after you.
I couldn't remember when she went out of town. So yeah, so I'll be
We were just talking
hosting
about it
next
today,
time.
so
And I'll figure out how to get the link to you. Add me on Discord or something.
yeah. Yeah, we usually do this from maybe 9:30 to 10 my time. Usually, we don't usually go later than that, right?
Not usually. Yeah, it depends on how everyone's feeling.
Yeah, depending on how tired we get and how motivated we are to write.
Fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You should drop
I
that in
will.
the chat if you think of it.
Yeah, I'm friends with him on Discord. I could do it there
Ooh,
too.
nice.
Nice. Spell for Cove.
That is a really cool title.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that are big fans of Cozy Mysteries always talk about how they love the titles because
They're
they're
so
always so.
funny. My
Yeah.
mom will be like she'll be like, "Oh, I got a new book and it's called like Assaulted Caramel or something." I'll like knee slapper. Okay, so yeah, next Monday out of town. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's not a commitment. It's more just like, if you can,
Yeah,
if
sometimes
you
things get
please
in the
go.
way.
Absolutely.
We've all been there. I know we had to cancel a few of these. Like, I know there was once I was sick. There was once when you were sick. So,
I was sick once. I think like I was gone for like 3 weeks because I went to
yeah,
California
you
and
were out of
then
town.
I came back and then I came back on like Sunday at like 1 o'clock in the morning. But it was like, sorry, Monday morning, 1 o'clock in the morning because I
But
was
you were jet
traveling all
lagged.
Sunday. So I was like super jet lagged. I felt like I was like drunk. Like that's how jet lagged I was. I was just so out of it. So I was like, I'm gonna have to skip the sprint. And I think the following one I was sick, which was weird. But so yeah, I missed like almost a month of these.
Yeah. Tabby and I did at least one when you weren't able to make it.
I think that was when I was on the trip because I didn't even bring my laptop or anything. I'm like, I'm not doing anything while I'm on this trip.
Yeah.
The Witch and Flower. The Witch and Flower. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, definitely. A username that I like to use, which is kind of a witchy username, I use on several things. I think that's my username on Discord. I might be wrong, but cast a spell.
Yeah, I love
Which
that.
I actually got from Monster High, but I just love it.
I have cast a spell, but
You
she's out of
do?
my reach, so I'm not gonna bring her down.
But
She's
yeah, I
in one
just
of my
love
videos.
that. I use it on a lot of things like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. I just Discord. I just love that name because
It's
I'm
so
all witch. I
cute.
love witchy things anyways, and I love Monster High, so I was like, why not? And it just kind of stuck, and now I've been using it for years.
That should have been your booktube channel name, but Witchy Reader's very good too. But you could have been like, I don't know how to make a pun out of that book, so never mind. Witchy Reader's probably better.
Yeah, I like witchy reader because it's like I'm a reader and I'm into witchy things. Plus, I read fantasy, so I feel like it just kind of works.
It's perfect. Yeah, that's like a big thing when I finally renamed my channel is like, okay, I gotta make sure people know it's books and that people know it's sci-fi.
Yes.
So yeah. Assaulted Caramel. Oh, like it's pretty good. But yeah, she'll be like, "You gotta check out this new book title." I'm like, "It's so punny, so punny,
Yes. Cozy mysteries are famous for their puns.
so good." I do really like puns though, so again, hence the book wormhole.
Or the witchy reader.
Yeah.
Okay, at 10, after, do you want to do a 20-minute sprint?
You read my mind. Yep.
Oh, great minds think alike.
Exactly. I'm so close to getting this done.
You
And
can
then I
do it.
have to type it up and edit it because, like I said, it's in pieces since I'm handwriting it. So I have like arrows pointing all over the place. Like, oh, this sentence goes here. But,
Well, I'm on this exciting moment when people start to realize something's not right in their realm.
ooh,
Yeah, like,
mystery.
yeah, definitely. Like, something's going on, and like, creatures are starting to fight with other creatures. Which
Ooh.
and something like this hasn't happened in centuries. Um, it
So, do
turns out
you have a big bad in this story, or is it
yes,
more of like a magical force that's evil?
it's a big bad. Yeah, it's
Oh,
actually one of the main characters, the vampire I told you about, Callista. It's
yeah,
an enemy from her. I can't wait to
nice.
go to her past. I don't think I have many of the characters' past fleshed out that much, but I have her past so fleshed out because it's like a big part of the story, like her past, like the prologue, especially because prologue shows a bit of her past centuries ago, which I sent you the
Mm.
prologue. I don't know if you ended up reading
I
it.
don't think I read it yet. I'm so behind on everything.
That's fine. But yeah, so it's the guy who's kind of chasing her in the prologue. And he's
Mhm.
the big bad. He's an enemy of hers that's been an enemy of hers forever. And
Mhm.
returned. And once all these things happen, her mind obviously goes to him, and no one else even knows who he is.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And it's like he has this power to like t- turn monsters against each other. So he's taking full force of that. So he's making all these monsters go against each other so that everyone's focusing on this and not what he's planning.
Mhm. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I don't remember what I titled book 3 right now, but book 2 I titled Vampire's Creation.
Ooh. And then
Yeah.
what's the first book called? Or is it
Realm of Monsters.
just Realm of Monsters?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's the trilogy name, but it's also the name of the first book.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
yeah, Realm of Monsters. The second book is the Vampire's Creation, and then the third book is the Ruining.
Ooh. That's cool. So is this a conflict that's going to carry over to all three books, or is there a different conflict each book?
The first 2 books mostly, but then when they return to their realm in the third book, everything is like it's like somebody just completely took over, and they found out that he had a secret partner. So while they were out of the realm dealing with him, trying to stop him from destroying the world, someone was taking over their world.
Oh my gosh, this is so insidious. It's like someone like breaking into your house when you're gone.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, it's 10 after,
Yeah.
so we'll do our final 20-minute sprint. Happy writing, everyone.
Writing. Hey.
Hello.
How did your sprint go?
It's been pretty good, although I forgot a scene, so I had to write that.
I hate when that
Um,
happens.
so I haven't quite finished then, but I got most of it done.
That's good. You're
So
still very
probably,
close.
yeah, I think tomorrow I will probably finish the story.
Yay.
So that's really exciting. How
Definitely
did your sprint go? Excuse me.
good. Yeah, so there's like 6 main characters in the story, right? And
Hmm.
this is the first scene you get to see all 6 of them together. So that's exciting.
Ooh,
A
that's
little
always
intense too,
fun.
because 2 of them was beaten up.
Hmm. That's not good.
No. And they're all trying to figure out what happened because something like this hasn't happened in the realm for centuries.
Hmm.
So
So
that's
yeah, it
always
sounds
fun.
like things are just getting started, where
Yeah,
it's just starting to pick up. That's really exciting.
definitely. I love when the story finally starts to pick up into the premise of the story.
Yeah, that's always so much fun. Nice.
Yay!
That's amazing.
Yeah, very. Did you finish the chapter you were working on? How did everyone else do?
Yeah, I don't know if Mr. Francie's still here, but I want to know
Yeah.
how much he got done.
Yeah, I think
Probably wrap up.
I think everyone made pretty good progress today.
I did insane good process by my standards. We wrote, let me see, like 4.5 notebook pages I got done. So that's a lot of writing for me, to be honest. Especially by hand. I write so much slower by hand than I
Yeah,
can type.
definitely.
So yeah, that's
I
quite
did.
a lot for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I did pretty well today too. I finished the chapter I was procrastinating on, so that's
Hmm.
good. And then I'd say I got pretty good into this chapter, so
Nice.
nice. This is gonna be a long chapter. I try not to write too long chapters just because a lot of people don't like long chapters, me included. But
I'm the same way.
sometimes I find it's like you can't help it. Like there just has to be so much to be said in here. And sometimes these scenes are longer because there just has to be so much that's said, and sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah, one of the things my editor said was that I should probably split up some of my chapters. But I kind of did it like every time I changed POV, I would make it a new chapter, and I tried to keep like, okay, like as long as we're following this character, I'm gonna keep it the same chapter. But he kind of suggested like split it up a little bit more.
Mm.
So that's something I'm gotta work on when I go back to editing my book.
That's not too bad.
Nice, that's a decent size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't try to do too short of chapters unless it's just kind of a filler to get moving on in the story. But
Right.
I also try not to do too long if it can't be helped. I kind of try to keep it in the middle range if I
Right.
can.
Yeah.
But sometimes things happen and you can't keep it that way. I wonder how many words I've written today. I'm gonna see because I'm curious. 1,372.
Wow.
I think that's not too bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's like short story. That's long for me for a short story length. So
Really?
that's quite a bit. Yeah, I think or maybe that's about average. I'm kind of blanking now. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably average length, I guess, for short story. I don't know. I'm totally blanking now.
Thanks. Yeah, once I got over the little dilemma I had at the beginning, my story started flowing. I came up with ideas. I think I'm going to rename this chapter and do the chapter I was originally going, like, because I kind of came up with a few ideas. So I think what I was planning for this chapter, I'm going to move for next chapter. And because I had this chapter as vampires versus werewolves, but I think the vampire versus werewolf dilemma will happen in the next chapter at the least, because at first you can start to see that something's like happening before
Yeah,
the dilemma between vampires and werewolves happens. So I think that I'm going to do that.
nice. That sounds like a good plan. I think I'm gonna call it a night. um, so yeah, I'll be hosting next week
Yes.
on my channel. So same bad time, same bad place. Come
I
join us.
put your channel and Tabby's in the description because I wasn't sure if Tabby was going to be on it when I made the link. Since
Yeah.
we were kind of a little late this week, we didn't even really talk about it this week until today.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't remember, like, like, is this the week we're supposed to skip?
Yeah,
So that's why I, like, messaged you today, because I
yeah.
was like, wait, I don't know for sure if we are doing the sprint tonight, but it worked out great. I got so
Yeah.
much done today.
I also put
Um,
Tabby's Amazon page in the description, so if anyone wants to check out her fantasy books, I highly
mhm.
recommend. Awesome. So good night.
Thanks everyone for joining, and thanks Johara for hosting. Have a
Good
good
night,
night,
Tabby.
everyone.
Until next time.